a song.
It's May of 2045. As she swims through the warm, clear waters of the Gulf of Mexico toward the Alabama shoreline, this loggerhead sea turtle is completing an epic journey that began 35 years ago. She voyaged thousands of miles away from this, her birthplace, and spent years exploring the Atlantic Ocean before returning again to her home waters. For the last decade, she has lived just offshore, foraging, maturing, and finally mating. Now she swims back toward her birthplace to nest for the first time. For her babies to survive, she has to find an undisturbed area of shoreline where they can hatch under cover of night and find their way back to the sea. She is drawn to a quiet stretch of white sand beach. It's perfect, but it wasn't always this way. April 2010. The BP Deepwater Horizon oil disaster began with an explosion that killed 11 people. Over 87 days, the rig sent 210 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. It was the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. The scale of the disaster was almost unimaginable. 1,300 miles of coastline were oiled. In the Gulf, oil smothered corals and blanketed the seafloor. Millions of birds, fish, dolphins, and other creatures died. Fishermen and countless others who made their lives on the water faced an uncertain future. And the Gulf of Mexico, one of the richest fishing grounds on Earth with over 15,000 species of marine life, would face its greatest test.
Someone lonesome.
As the task of cleanup began, scientists arrived from all over the nation to rescue and rehabilitate wildlife. A workforce of over 170,000 labored to remove the most visible remains of the disaster. And even as this immediate response was underway, long-term plans for restoring the Gulf also began to take shape. Scientists and citizens began to document the damage and determine how to help the Gulf recover. And in Washington, D.C., the next crucial battle was underway. In 2012, people from all over the country urged their lawmakers to protect the Gulf of Mexico as an economic engine and a national treasure. And in response, Congress then passed the Restore Act, allocating the majority of BP's fines directly to the Gulf for restoration, from Texas to Florida and from its coastline to its deepest waters. Then, in July of 2015, after years of legal battles, BP agreed to an unprecedented $20 billion in fines. This jump-started the largest environmental restoration effort the world had ever seen. For decades, scientists, citizens, and government leaders, working together, replenished wetlands, conserved vital habitats, and rebuilt wildlife populations. And with a $billion investment in the ocean, scientists helped dolphins recover from record-breaking die-offs and made new discoveries in the Gulf's deep sea.
That's as far as I can go.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Our leaders mapped out what a healthy Gulf should look like, launching projects to restore our coast, our ocean, and our communities. Working together, they charted a new future for the Gulf. It's a warm evening in June of 2045. Our loggerhead turtle, born into a Gulf in peril, returns to nest on the now pristine beach where she once hatched. Led by an ancient instinct, she faithfully plays her part in ensuring that the cycle of life in the sea continues. And at daybreak, with her nest safely hidden, she slowly makes her way back to the safety of the Gulf waters. 2 months later, because of the work of thousands of people, both to learn from the BP disaster and to restore the Gulf as a whole, this turtle's young return to a healthy and thriving Gulf of Mexico. Help us make this future a reality. Help us restore the Gulf.
Just listening to you breathe. Lord,
Join us at oceanconservancy.org.
But if you look at Earth from outer space, is it a race or a miracle all around? It's a miracle all around. It's a miracle